Sheila Crump Johnson's extraordinary journey from a middle-class upbringing to becoming America's first black female billionaire stands as one of the most inspiring narratives in modern business history. Her story exemplifies the transformative power of vision, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to excellence. This Black Excellist video explores Johnson's multifaceted career, tracing her path as she revolutionized media representation, redefined luxury hospitality, shattered barriers in professional sports, and established herself as a leading philanthropist, all while maintaining a steadfast dedication to uplifting others. Born on January 25, 1949 in McKeesport, Pennsylvania, Sheila Johnson grew up in an environment that nurtured both intellectual curiosity and artistic expression. Her father, Dr. George Crump, was one of the few black neurosurgeons in the country during the 1950s, while her mother, Marie, worked as an accountant. This exceptional family foundation instilled in young Sheila the core values of discipline, education, and perseverance, qualities that would later define her business philosophy. Johnson's early musical training proved particularly influential. As a classically trained violinist who attended the prestigious Interlochen Arts Academy, she developed the meticulous attention to detail and relentless work ethic that would become hallmarks of her professional ventures. She often reflects on how those countless hours of practice taught her that true mastery demands both patience and passion. After earning her music education degree from the University of Illinois in 1970, she briefly taught music before destiny called her to a far more ambitious path. The founding of Black Entertainment Television, BET, in 1980 marked a watershed moment in American media history. With just $15,000 in startup capital and operating from borrowed office space, Sheila and her then-husband, Robert Johnson, launched what would become the first black-controlled television network. As BET's original executive producer, Sheila played a pivotal role in shaping the network's cultural identity and programming strategy during its formative years. At a time when mainstream media largely ignored black audiences, BET created groundbreaking content that celebrated African American culture. Johnson personally oversaw the development of iconic programs that provided unprecedented platforms for black artists and youth voices. Her editorial leadership ensured the network maintained its authentic cultural perspective, even as it experienced exponential growth. While BET's rise represented a groundbreaking achievement in black media, the network's later years were marked by growing tensions and difficult decisions for Sheila. As the 1990s progressed, she found herself increasingly at odds with her husband and co-founder's direction of BET's programming. The network that had begun as a platform for black empowerment and cultural celebration began leaning heavily into music video content that often featured distasteful imagery and lyrics that conflicted with Johnson's values. The situation reached a breaking point when Sheila confronted her husband, Robert Johnson, about the numerous affairs he was having. As BET's CEO and the majority stakeholder with 52% ownership, Bob made the controversial decision to fire Sheila as vice president of the company they had built together. These tensions ultimately contributed to the difficult and complex decision to sell Black Entertainment Television.
And finally, we were able to hit the video market. Now, if you remember, MTV would not play black videos.
No.
So that was our break to bring black videos onto BET. Now, there's a plus and a minus to that. And I remember being on the treadmill and I'm watching Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney on that da 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 da. And so anyway, I said, this is really great. The art of storytelling through music. It went downhill about 7 months later. And what I saw on the screen were young girls, you know, dancing inappropriately. You know, if you turn the sound off, it looked like pornography. I'm sorry. I did not like what I was seeing. It bothered me so much that I decided to do a show called Teen Summit.
Yeah.
And Teen Summit, yeah. So I pulled that program being together with Jeff Lee, and he and I were able to put this show together. It lasted 11 years. We even got a grant from the Kaiser Foundation. People still to this day remember Teen Summit, but it has won every award in the book. And the reason why I wanted to do that was about educating our young people about what they're seeing on the screen. It's not that I was against the videos or anything, But I just didn't want our young girls going out in the street and behaving from what they saw on the television.
Yeah, thank you for Teen Summit.
You're welcome.
Yes. Yes, clap, please clap.
The 2001 sale of BET to Viacom for $3 billion represented multiple historic milestones. It created America's first black female billionaire, marked the first black-controlled company listed on the New York Stock Exchange, and stood as the most significant black business transaction of its era. While this achievement alone would have cemented Johnson's legacy, for this relentless entrepreneur, it merely marked the conclusion of her first act. The BET chapter of Johnson's life represented a period of emotional betrayal, professional turmoil, and personal reckoning, but it would prove formative for Mrs. Johnson. Although she lost her identity, voice, and influence over the 20-year period, she felt justified in taking a stance in an industry that often prioritizes profits over principles. The experience would ultimately make her more determined than ever to create businesses that reflected her values while still achieving commercial success. Rather than resting on her laurels, Johnson embarked on an extraordinary second act that saw her conquer entirely new industries. Her 2005 founding of Salamander Hotels and Resorts demonstrated her remarkable ability to transfer her exacting standards to the luxury hospitality sector. Johnson immersed herself personally in every operational detail of her properties, from selecting premium linens to training staff, resulting in world-class resorts that consistently earned prestigious Forbes 5-star ratings. Simultaneously, Johnson broke new ground in professional sports by becoming the first African-American woman to hold ownership stakes in 3 major league franchises. Her involvement with monumental sports and entertainment allowed her to advocate for gender equity in sports management while implementing innovative community engagement programs through the NBA's Washington Wizards, NHL's Washington Capitals, and WNBA's Washington Mystics.
And I think one of the things I know, because I really do believe in people and really trying to bring people along. You know, and it's all about leadership. You can lead any company, but what kind of leader are you really going to be? Are you going to be an empathetic leader or a mentoring type leader, domineering leader? I like to be a leader that really inspires my employees. And I've mentioned this before. I call it HARP. It's about being honest, authentic, respectful, and passionate. And to be able to clearly be able to communicate to my employees my vision of how I want to grow my company. And I have to teach them and work with them on how to buy into that.
Johnson's business achievements are paralleled by her significant philanthropic impact. Through the Sheila C. Johnson Foundation, she has donated tens of millions to support arts education, women's empowerment initiatives, and underserved communities. Her philanthropic work includes endowed scholarships at Parsons School of Design for minority students, substantial support for historically black colleges and universities, film production projects that amplify underrepresented voices, and COVID-19 relief efforts targeting vulnerable communities. Her approach to giving reflects her fundamental belief that true success must create opportunities that endure beyond any individual. This commitment extends to her hands-on mentorship of young entrepreneurs, particularly women of color, whom she actively guides through speaking engagements and personal coaching sessions. Sheila Johnson's career provides invaluable lessons for aspiring entrepreneurs. She exemplifies visionary thinking through her ability to identify unmet needs in underserved markets. Her journey demonstrates remarkable resilience, showing how to transform setbacks into opportunities for reinvention. Johnson maintains uncompromising standards of excellence in all her endeavors while strategically diversifying her business interests to ensure stability. A champion of representation, she creates businesses that empower communities while investing in systemic, lasting social impact through her philanthropy. These principles combine to form a powerful blueprint for entrepreneurial success that transcends mere financial achievement.
This is actually the third act of my life. In the first act of my life, I was a concert violinist. I taught young people and I actually performed. The second act was starting a cable company called Black Entertainment Television, which was launched in 1979. Then sold the company in 2002 to Viacom, and I decided to take a 2-year hiatus and figure out really what I wanted to do. And I decided that I was going to get into the hotel business. And the reason why I did that is because the hotel business and the cable television business are very similar. They're a lot of fun. I'm always entertaining people. There are so many parallels to all of this. And I just thought this was the perfect segue into Act 3 of my life.
Now in her mid-70s, Sheila Johnson continues to break new ground while cementing her status as one of America's most influential business leaders. Her story transcends the typical billionaire narrative, offering instead a powerful model for success rooted in innovation, representation, and social responsibility. As she often states, her wealth means nothing unless it serves as a ladder for others to climb. This philosophy ensures her legacy will endure as both an inspiration and a challenge to future generations of business leaders. Johnson's journey proves that true success should be measured not just in financial terms, but in opportunities created, barriers broken, and lives transformed. From her revolutionary work at BET to her luxury resorts, from sports ownership to philanthropy, she has consistently redefined what's possible for Black women in business while maintaining an unwavering commitment to uplifting others. This extraordinary legacy will continue to inspire and guide generations to come.
There was not a channel that was really answering the need for the African American voice. I wanted the country to start listening to us, and I thought this was the most incredible opportunity.
Tell me more about how you struggled, you write about this in the book, how you struggled to get advertisers.
People do not realize what the African American public goes through. You know, people that are entrepreneurs, we fight for everything that we can get up. I mean,
do you have to fight more as a woman or as a Black woman?
Both. But I think it's even harder for both men and women within the African American community to really start their businesses. Yeah. And the problem with BET, it's a great idea, everybody thought it was a great idea, but no one really believed that we could keep that network on the air. They did not want to invest in us. They did not want to advertise with us because, as you know, that's what pays the bills. And so we just could not help people understand our vision.
About BET, you know, you write that you saw it as a, quote, responsibility to the Black community to put out higher quality content.
Yes.
You said there is still a need for a platform like the one you envisioned then to put out high quality content. Could that venture be profitable today?
You know, this is something that is very interesting because people have asked me about this. I think if BET gets bought, I know it's up for sale, I think we need to look at it and see, we need to reevaluate the vision. What is going to be our end goal? What are the voices that are going to have to talk to the African American public?
But it sounds like you still lament.
I really do lament about it because I think we squandered an opportunity to really have really good news programming on there. It's not that I wanted to look like CNN, but we needed to really start tackling the real problems within the African American community.
You mentioned the possible sale of BET again, and apparently Paramount is taking bids from the likes of Tyler Perry, Shaquille O'Neal. Byron Allen, the entrepreneur, renewed his push to purchase the network last December for $3.5 billion. You have said the network needs to reassess its purpose.
Yeah, I think whoever buys it needs to sit back and say, what can we do to really make this network work?
And you wouldn't be interested in being the owner again?
It's funny because the bank even called, wanted to know if I still wanted to get, no, I do not.
I mean, what a comeback story.
It would be a great comeback story, but I've got my money invested in hotels now. I think more than anything, if they would like me to just work with them behind the scenes to help them reimagine a network that's really going to address what has to be addressed in this country. And that's really giving African Americans a platform with their voice on what they need. They need to be heard. They need to hear our issues out there because it's still so one-sided.
We appreciate the fact that you stayed until the end. Thank you for spending time with us, and don't forget to like this video. Also, make sure you subscribe so that you never miss a video. Bye for now. We will see you tomorrow.
Like we're not going